The Biden family's business dealings implicate a wide range of criminality, from human trafficking to potential violations of the Constitution. In the 118th Congress, this committee will evaluate the status of Joe Biden's relationship with his family's foreign partners and whether he is a president who is compromised or swayed by foreign dollars and influence. I want to be clear. This is an investigation of Joe Biden, and that's where the committee will focus in this next Congress.
Well, it's official. The Republican Party will launch an investigation into Joe Biden and his son Hunter. Just one day after the GOP won control of the House, members held a press conference to formally announce their plans to hold the Bidens accountable. This has always been a promise from the Republican Party that they will look to hold a proper hearing into Hunter Biden's overseas business dealings. However, Republican James Comer, who was the incoming House Oversight Committee chair, said this investigation will be about Joe Biden's alleged involvement in Hunter's businesses. The president's son has been at the height of speculation ever since the contents of his discarded laptop were leaked in October 2020. While it was initially disregarded as Russian disinformation just 3 weeks before the 2020 presidential election, most of the content has now been verified as authentic. And Republicans want answers. James Comer and Jim Jordan specifically, who, along with the House Oversight Committee, have launched an investigation targeting Joe Biden and his family business dealings. At the press conference, they released a new GOP report that provided statements from whistleblowers and evidence from Hunter Biden's infamous laptop. They detail how they will zero in on gaining access to the 150 suspicious activity reports that Hunter and James Biden have allegedly racked up. From the information they have gathered, the Oversight Committee believes that there has been a decade-long pattern of influence peddling, national security risks, and political cover-ups for the Biden family.
What we found are business plans aimed at targets around the world based on influence peddling, including with people closely tied to foreign governments like China and Russia. We also found plans based in the United States where the Biden family swindled investors of hundreds of thousands of dollars, all with Joe Biden's participation and knowledge. In 2019, shortly after announcing his campaign for president, Joe Biden told the American people he had nothing to do with and never had conversations with his family about their business dealings. That was a lie. Whistleblowers described President Biden as chairman of the board for these businesses. He personally participated in meetings and phone calls. Documents show that he was a partner with access to an office.
President Joe Biden has always maintained he has no knowledge or involvement in his son's business dealings. But that claim has been contradicted numerous times from calendar meetings found on Hunter's laptop and statements from whistleblowers, including Tony Bobulinski. Tony Bobulinski outed himself to the FBI as Hunter Biden's business partner. He has claimed Joe Biden was heavily involved in these deals, known as the big guy, in various emails. That's something the House Oversight Committee will look into.
To be clear, Joe Biden is the big guy. This evidence raises troubling questions about whether President Biden is a national security risk and about whether he is compromised by foreign governments. Despite the president's claim that he wasn't involved in Biden family business schemes, these photos show Joe Biden meeting with his family associates while vice president. Right there behind Paul. 4 different pictures. Committee Republicans have identified over 50 countries the Biden family sought businesses in. On the international side of the Biden family business, the deals were often led by Hunter Biden.
The White House, however, has dismissed all allegations as just long debunked conspiracy theories. A spokesperson for the White House provided a statement. Instead of working with President Biden to address issues important to the American people, like lower costs, congressional Republicans' top priority is to go after President Biden with politically motivated attacks chock full of long debunked conspiracy theories. President Biden is not going to let these political attacks distract him from focusing on Americans' priorities, and we hope congressional Republicans will join us in tackling them instead of wasting time and resources on political revenge. Now, Hunter Biden is currently under federal investigation in Delaware, a probe that has been operating since 2018. However, this investigation is looking at whether he committed tax violations, potential foreign lobbying, and making a false statement in relation to the purchase of a firearm. It's not looking into all these dodgy things the Republican Party alleges Hunter Biden and his family have been involved in. This all comes back to the fact that the New York Post was given a copy of Hunter Biden's laptop in 2020 by Rudy Giuliani. Hunter had left his laptop at a repair shop in Wilmington, Delaware in 2019, to which the owner gave it to the FBI after scouring the contents. However, he made a copy which found its way to the New York Post. When the publication wrote the original story in October 2020, it was immediately disregarded as disinformation, to the point where social media giants censored it. Twitter even suspended the Post account and blocked any user from trying to share the story. Liberal media also shied away from reporting on the story until the New York Times verified some of the contents in March this year. The Republicans called out the media and Democrats for labeling the story as Russian disinformation.
Never forget how this story has changed. I mean, think about this. When it started off, it was, no, it's not his laptop. It's not his laptop. Then it was, well, it's his laptop, but remember, it's Russian disinformation and no one did anything wrong. Then it was, well, maybe he did something wrong, but President Biden didn't know about it. And now it's, well, maybe President Biden knew about it and was involved, but it didn't influence his decisions.